Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
You're listening to the Sisters-in-Laws podcast, a faith-based podcast that spotlights Black women who replace silence with storytelling around pregnancy and infant loss and infertility. Black women experience miscarriage and stillbirth 4 to 5 times more likely than white women, according to the NIH and CDC. Whether you've experienced a miscarriage, infant loss, stillbirth, are trying to conceive, or have an infertility diagnosis, you will learn about resources and strategies to heal, gain clarity, peace, hope, and find an empowering path forward after loss. I'm your host, Erica M. McAfee, and you will hear me interview sisters-in-laws who have healed from such a painful and traumatic experience by sharing their testimonies and stories to inspire and help others turn their pain into their purpose. Now let's get started. Welcome to episode 210 of the Sisters-in-Laws podcast. Today's episode is a solo episode where I catch you up on all the things going on and happening with Sisters-in-Laws. Today we're going to celebrate my birthday, as I am a July baby, Cancer, stand up, and 4 years of podcasting. Stay tuned until the end of this episode for a special offer and discount on all of our Sisters-in-Laws courses. Never would I have imagined at the beginning of 2021 that we would be here. Yes, on July 17th, this upcoming Saturday, I will be another year older. And on August the 2nd, it will make 4 years of podcasting. So in lieu of doing 2 separate solo episodes, I figured I would loop them all into one and really share with you all what's been on my heart and mind as I enter into my personal new year and new year for this podcast. I remember back in May of 2017, I was on the beach in Trinidad de Cuba and in Cuba, looking out into the Caribbean and knowing that I wanted to start a podcast. 2.5 months later, the first episode was published. I didn't know what it meant to publish a podcast, how to record, how to market, how to distribute. I didn't know anything. I just did it and I figured it out along the way. So thank you to my team, my podcast editor, thank you to God, first and foremost. Things have gotten better, sound is getting better. And the quality of the episodes have improved so much from 2017. We even changed our name, in the middle of all of that. So thank you all for rocking with me for the last 4 years. And there's so much more to come as we all are growing and evolving. So if this is a lesson for you that are listening, it is just for you to start and stay consistent. Commit to a year of going all out on whatever that passion project is for you. You never know where it will lead you. So for my birthday this year, so as you're listening to this episode, I'm on vacation. I am taking my first solo trip ever. Yes, I've gone to places alone, but usually I would meet someone there. I've flown to London, I've flown to Rome. I've gone to Cancun, by myself, and I met up with a group of people maybe I didn't know, or I met up with friends. So last year for my big birthday, a milestone birthday, I wanted to travel to Accra, Ghana. However, that, of course, you all know we're in a pandemic that was put on hold until 2022. So I'm still going to travel to Accra in 2022. And I'm very excited about this, getting out of the country. So that trip in particular to Accra was another solo trip as I was going alone, but I was meeting up with like a travel group there once I arrived. So I was going to go by myself, meet with new friends, new people I've never met before, and travel. And, I've never been on the continent, and I'm excited to add Ghana as one of the countries I visit, as I want to visit all 54 countries and territories that are on the continent of Africa. But this trip that I'm taking, that I'm on now, as you're listening to this episode, is truly a solo episode. No one's meeting there. However, I think one of my besties may pop up in the city. We'll see if she does come. But it's a city I've been before. It's one of my favorite cities in the country. And I'm ready to experience this city by myself, alone. So I won't post on social media where I'm going, unless I trust you until after I return. But I'm sure you will see me stunting on the gram. Just know, I'm comfortable going to this place by myself with no issues. It's definitely one of my second favorite U.S. cities, the first being New York. New York City is my favorite city in the U.S., but definitely my second city in the U.S. for food, culture, and fun. So I'm excited to see, how this new experience of traveling by myself, truly by myself, and not meeting up with anyone works out for me. And I actually may do a meetup. I don't know. We'll see. And I'll let you all know those details. But I'm excited to really explore it from, my point of view, going to museums, going to excursions, things that I have never done in this city. And I want to know, do you know where I'm going? Do you have an idea? Have you followed me long enough? I mean, are we friends? I know we are. DM me on Instagram and let's chat. And if you are in this city where I am, let's meet up. Let's go get some vegan and vegetarian food. But happy birthday to me. My birthday is on this Saturday. So if you would be so kind to leave a fresh review of the show. I know you've probably reviewed before, but one thing that I know about a lot of people who come to listen to the podcast, they want to hear new reviews. So please leave me a fresh review. Just shout me out, wish me a happy birthday, and tell me what you love about the podcast and what you're looking forward to in year 4 of podcasting. So as many of you know, back in April of 2021, during Black Maternal Health Week, I was a part of a Black Maternal Health Roundtable panel that was held at the White House with Vice President Kamala Harris and Ambassador Susan Rice. I shared this experience going to the White House and how I got this amazing opportunity back in episode 200 of the podcast. So definitely go back and listen 10 episodes at 200 to hear all about that journey. But after that week of press and interviews and, a lot of bits that ended up coming out from that amazing opportunity, I received an email that I had been accepted to a master's program for maternal child health. So let me give you some history on this. So I learned about this program back in 2019 at a conference. And I knew if I ever went back to school to get a master's degree, it was going to be an MBA for professional reasons, or I would focus on maternal and child health. So I put off my MBA for many different reasons. We could talk about that at another time. Prior to marriage and having children, I even applied to Management Leadership for Tomorrow program, which is an amazing program for minorities who want to pursue MBAs. And I think if you all are listening, definitely something to look into. And I knew that I wanted back then to take 2 years off to go get my MBA, off of work full time, to go into a full-time MBA program at a top MBA program across the country, right? Who doesn't want to say they went to Wharton or Harvard or, Georgetown or, Michigan, especially if that is your career trajectory in your professional career. But at that time, it just wasn't the right time when I did get, into the MLT MBA prep program. It just was not the right time for me to make that commitment based on my job, based on life changes. There's just a lot of different factors that played a role into that. So I put it off for a very long time. Like, this was back in 2011. We are in 2021. So 10 years later, literally, so I knew back in 2019 when I learned about this program, I should research other master's programs, whether it's a master's in public health with a specialty in maternal child health, or even just masters in maternal child health and the programs around that. So I wanted to make sure that I chose a program that really addresses the health needs of childbearing people and their infants through a social justice lens, right? I don't want to go back to school and talk about all of the other things, but we really aren't talking about the true issues and the racial disparities that are happening to Black and Brown moms and babies. So I wanted to make sure I had a program that really, really fought for that. And in my interview for this program, that is a question that I truly proposed to them. It's just like, I want to make sure that this program is centered in that. And if it's not, I don't think it's the right fit for me. But luckily, this program was, and I got accepted a week later after, coming off the high of being at the White House. So I applied to the program back in February of 2021. I interviewed in March, and then in April, I was accepted. So this week, as you're listening, I start school. Yes, during the summertime. And it's a one-year master's. So next year, next summer, I'll have a master's degree. It's so crazy, right? And I am so excited to further my education and research on maternal child health. And I'm also excited to share my research with you all and hopefully use many of the stories that you've listened to here over the last 4 years to really make an impact in the social justice and reproductive justice world. So stay tuned and definitely join our mailing list at sistersinloss.com/newsletter, as I'll be putting out more prompters about some of the research topics that I am going to focus on my research project. And if you all could help me out and be an assistance to it. So let's talk about these last 4 years and what's next for Sisters in Law. So if you listen to my episode from last year, I really talked a lot about, what I look forward to and what I hope for a year later. Obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic when I wrote that out. And there's some things that are still happening in the background, that I really want to accomplish still. And there's still movement there. So definitely I'm going to still keep it out there, put it out in the atmosphere, and know that when that time comes, that time will come for it. So what is next for Sisters in Loss? Sisters in Loss Training Institute, our coursework has trained over 200 people. We are well on our way of surpassing our goals for this year. I'm excited to offer new self-paced courses, like automating your doula business, childbirth education, lactation specialist course, newborn care course, and planning a funeral or a memorial service. So stay informed of all of our course offerings by joining our newsletter at sistersinloss.com/newsletter. Our international doula directory is now live. So for those of you who are searching for a doula, or for those who are doulas or birth workers, to find and search for a doula in your area, go to doulas.sistersinloss.com and search your area to find it. This is international, so it doesn't just work for the U.S. It is worldwide, for my Canadians, for my folks who are in the UK, for my folks who are on the continent. This is for you. So definitely, if you are a doula or a birth worker who wants to be listed on our website, definitely go to doulas.sistersinloss.com to register your business. So I'm excited to offer this directory to make it an easier place for a lot of birth workers to come, especially for those who do specialize in bereavement, for people to have an opportunity to work with people who are specifically in their area, but also have virtual offerings. In October, in just a few months, announce our 2021 Sisters-in-Law Summit is being held on Friday, October 1st and Saturday, October 2nd. Registration is now open at sistersinlawsummit.com. I'm excited to now announce one of our keynote speakers. It will be none other than Dr. Joya Creer-Perry of the National Birth Equity Collaborative. Dr. Joya is a board-certified OBGYN who works daily to fight for Black moms and babies. If you have not seen her present at major conferences or speaking to Congress, you are in for a treat, because Dr. Joya also has a story of pregnancy loss and a surrogacy journey that I can't wait for you all to hear. So I'm excited for you all to hear from Dr. Joya, and I have another confirmed speaker that I will be letting you all know about very soon. So we are still seeking out presenters and panelists for the conference. We also have sponsorship and vendor opportunities for nonprofits and small businesses, especially those Black owned. So go to sistersinlaws.com/events to submit your topic to present and submit your sponsorship or vendor application. Early registration for the conference closes on August 1st, and I don't want you to miss out on this summit. So to register, go to sistersinlawsummit.com. Our last Sisters-in-Law news update as we're going into this 4 years is that we finally have a retreat planned for 2022. Yes, I have been wanting to do a retreat now for the last 2 years. Obviously, with COVID has, kind of shut things down. And I wanted to make sure I planned a retreat that was stateside to make it easier for those who want to attend comfortably as COVID policies and travel may change over the next year. So we will announce the location of the retreat in October during our summit, along with payment plans and what you can expect. This is a small group that we were retreating with, about 50 women. So I want to make sure that we keep it small and intimate, but we also have a good time along with our speakers. So definitely join and be a part of the summit so you can learn more about our Sisters-in-Law retreat coming up in 2022. I am excited that we've made it 4 years. To God be the glory that we are here. We are thriving. We're surviving through the last bit of this. We can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you, my sister. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for, holding me down. Thank you for not giving up on this podcast week after week as we share, some of the hard truths and the hard stories. But you've made it to the end of this episode. So I'm so excited that you're here. I have a discount code for you all off of the Sisters-in-Law courses. So go to sistersinlawstraining.com and enter code 50OFF. That is 50OFF to get 50% off all of our courses until the end of the month, July 31st, 2021. So this includes our next cohort of birth, bereavement, and postpartum doulas, our premier course, Full Spectrum Doula course, which begins September 12th for 8 weeks. We won't discount our courses again this year, and that is our last course offering for 2021. So please take advantage of this offer today. Once again, that offer is using the code 50OFF, 50% off, or 50OFF to get 50% off of all of our courses until July 31st, 2021. Thank you all so much for listening to the Sisters-in-Law podcast. Have you left a recent review? Tell us which episode is your favorite for my birthday and our 4-year podcast anniversary on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sisters-in-Law TV. Keep the faith, and we will talk to you all next week. Thank you for listening to today's episode. For show notes, go to sistersinloss.com. To stay connected with us and join the Sisters in Loss community and receive my weekly newsletter, please go to sistersinloss.com/newsletter. That is sistersinloss.com/newsletter. Please rate and review this episode, and I will talk to you next week.
Last night, Ted played Monopoly, and he won. He had 26 houses, 11 hotels, and a pile of money. Last night, Marie won at Monopoly too, but with 0 houses and 0 hotels. Because Marie played new Monopoly scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery, with top prizes from $1,000 to $2 million. Like Ted, Marie also won a pile of money. But unlike Ted, Marie's money is real. Play new Monopoly scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery. Go directly to fun. Please play responsibly. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro.